everyone, I'm Colleen with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Giovanni di Sordes Cacciafronte, or John Cacciafronte, was born in 1125 to a noble family in Cremona, Italy. His father died when he was still very young, and his mother remarried to Adamo Cacciafronte, who bestowed his surname on John and treated him as his own son. Both of the boy's parents participated in his thorough education and religious upbringing. When he showed an interest in ecclesiastical life, he was encouraged to pursue it. At 16 years old, John entered the Abbey of San Lorenzo, where he proved himself a hardworking and valuable addition to the Benedictine monks. As the years passed, those around him grew increasingly impressed with his virtue and intelligence. He entered the priesthood and was made the head of one of San Lorenzo's connected priories. In time, he was promoted to abbot of San Lorenzo itself. In 1159, 4 years after John became an abbot, there was a papal schism. The officially recognized Pope, Alexander III, was opposed by anti-Pope Ottaviano de Monticelli, who went by Victor IV. The anti-pope was supported by the power and influence of the current Roman emperor, but John was not intimidated by this. He responded by declaring his support for Alexander III and encouraged people in his community to also support the legitimate pope. The emperor caught wind of this and banished him, forcing him to leave his convent. Thankfully, Alexander III had taken note of John's support and his plight, and elected him to the Bishop of Mantua, replacing the previous bishop, who had been in support of the anti-pope. He did not hold this position long, however, before his predecessor returned repentant and asked to return to his duties. In a show of great humility, John sent in his resignation and retreated to a quiet living. Pope Alexander III recognized John's virtue and, rather than leaving him to live in a hermitage, promoted him to Bishop of Vicenza, a position which was vacant at the time. John took up this post but remained there for only 2 years, at which point he made an unfortunate discovery. A feudal lord in the area named Pietro had been embezzling funds meant for the church. John promptly excommunicated the man, a judgment which cost him his life, as the Lord became enraged and brutally assassinated him. For being killed for actions taken on behalf of the church, John Cacciafronte was recognized as a martyr. He was buried, then moved to a more suitable tomb in Vicenza Cathedral, where he continued to be celebrated for many hundreds of years. It was not until 1824, under Pope Leo XII, that he was eventually beatified. John Cacciafronte was the very definition of that well-known quote from Matthew chapter 20, "The last will be first, and the first will be last." To lose his position for supporting the Pope, only to be promoted and willingly give up his position again, it was clear he was a man of great humility. It was never advancement itself that he sought, but the opportunity to be of greater service to God's people. May we learn from his example and see our own advancements in terms of the good we can do. Blessed John Cacciafronte, pray for us.
Thank you for tuning in to Awaken the Saint.